Airlines, Amtrak, other organizations, other businesses, their employees are starting to walk out. Their employees are starting to stop. They're not going to work because they're refusing to be mandated to take a vaccination, to have a job. Well, the good thing is help is on this way. Kind of weird to say that, but it is. The state of Florida, DeSantis, put in order that you cannot mandate anybody to have a vaccination, to have a job, or to go into a restaurant. Well, what happened in Florida? And this is interesting. And why do we care what's going on in Florida?
Good morning, everybody. Waking Up California with Diego Martinez, candidate for governor 2022.
This is probably one of the best things that's going on. Because
a lot of stuff going on this week, right? We had the Monday mandate walkout. Everybody walked out of school. Kept your kids home because of the vaccination. So we're going to talk a little bit about what impact that really did have, how many actually students walked out per school, and what effect did that have on our school systems and their legislation of where we're headed. I want to thank everybody for joining. Thank you. Good morning to everybody who's logging in slowly but surely here. We do English at 9 a.m. in the morning every Thursday morning on Waking Up California. So let's talk about the school mandates, and let's talk about the vaccination mandates and how many people actually showed up, how many people actually stayed home, how many people went to school. The numbers are surprising. And I think it's surprising because a lot of us keep saying, hey, I don't want the mandates. My kids shouldn't get vaccination. There's anti-vax people out there who preach this all the time, that they don't want the vaccination. They don't want their kids getting vaccinated. They don't want to be vaccinated. I want to make something perfectly clear here, where I stand with all this. I am not against the COVID-19 shot. I am against them forcing us to take a shot. So I'm not saying I'm anti-vax, because if you need it, you should have it. If you don't need it, you shouldn't get a vaccination until you need it. That's the way I feel. That's just my personal opinion. I think there's medicine out there that's good. I think there's medicine out there that's bad. I don't think that we need to have medicine before we are sick. I don't think taking the vaccination is preventing anything, because it doesn't help you stop from getting COVID-19. It'd be a different story. They said, hey, you take this vaccination, you won't get COVID-19, we can move on with life, right? But a lot of us, when we were younger, we fought the measles, we fought the chicken pox. And what was the old theory? Hurry up and get it, get through it, so then you don't get it again. When we look at studies about COVID-19, we have to look at that in a sense as the same kind of logic, right? Because when COVID-19 first hit, it was once you get it, and you fight it, your body's immune to it, right? That's what they were saying. Now your body knows how to fight it. You build your immune system enough where your body can fight it. So why do I need a shot? Why do I have to get vaccinated? Not only one vaccination, two vaccination, a booster, and now a fourth booster. So how long is the government going to keep putting this stuff in our bodies? Does anybody really know what's inside these vaccinations? Can you even call it a vaccination? So let's get back on point on what we're talking about. I just wanted to make that clear with people, because everybody's saying you're anti-vax. I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti-putting stuff in my body that my body doesn't need. If I can put stuff in my body that my body doesn't need, why isn't every athlete on steroids? Because it's not good for their body, right? Or it enhances their performance. Well, the vaccination doesn't even stop you from getting COVID-19. We have got to stop that. It's about them forcing us. It's about our rights. It's about our 14th Amendment being tramped on. That's why I am against the vaccination. I am against forcing anybody to do something, right? That shouldn't ever happen. They should never be able to force you to take a vaccination. They should never force you to do anything. It's called a choice. When they talked about abortion, on the other side, what did they say? My body, my choice. Yeah, when we use that, it doesn't work. Oh, that's not true. Your body, our choice. Not the way life is. It's our choice. And that's the freedom that we're fighting for. So let's talk a little bit about what is going on, right? I like this. We must keep talking, taking a stand. We are winning. Let's talk about taking a stand. October 18th, nationwide walkout on schools for our children not to get forced to have the COVID-19 vaccination, which I 100% stand behind with every parent. Do not get the vaccination for your kids. There's different reasons why I'm saying that. First of all, FISA can only put a vaccination in your kids' body from 12 to 15 years old if the state is under a state of emergency, right? Under that, they don't have a vaccination yet. Johnson & Johnson's trying to hurry up and get something approved for next school year so that, guess what? They're going to make a ton of money on these vaccinations. So you got to ask yourself, where did this come from? Well, we just had a recall, and these companies gave Gavin Newsom millions of dollars. Guess what? First time in history, he won the recall. He has to pay the debt that it cost for the recall, right? And that's what he's doing right now with some of the laws. So we'll get into that here in a minute. Let's keep talking about what happened on Monday, October 18th. The Capitol, state Capitol, a lot of people. It looked like a lot of people were, a couple thousand, I reckon, were out there. If anybody knows the accurate numbers of the people who were at the Capitol, it was awesome. You saw a lot of people there. But let's get down to the real. We ran the numbers. Schools reported their numbers. I was interested in seeing how many kids actually per school district actually stayed home. Anybody want to take a guess? What do you guys think the number of parents keeping their kids and actually going through this walkout? How many people? How many kids? What's the percentage? How many of you guys know? I'll give it to you. It's probably lower than a lot of us thought it was. 10%. 10% of the kids stayed home per school. So somebody says, well, 10% is not that bad. 10% is a minute. The school's law is $0. It didn't affect the schools at all. When we do a nation-out walkout, we need 50%. 60% of the people to walk out. We need the majority to walk out. When you're talking about 10%, the majority is still 90%. Nobody's going to listen to us. That's the problem with California. We can't figure out when we need to unite. We need to stop worrying about party lines. We need to stop worrying about, oh my God, my neighbor's a Democrat. He has a Joe Biden sign. I'm not going to go talk to him. We keep that up, we won't have a California. Because we cannot figure out how to unite for anything. Our kids affects all of us. Yeah, we only got 10%. 10%. So if your school has 4,000 kids, 400 didn't go. Figure that out. How many is that? Most of us have 400 pennies lying around our house and we don't even know it. That's the problem. If California, if we cannot say enough of our party lines, enough if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you cannot say this, we can't do this. I have somebody on the other side said many parents can't afford or don't have the resources to keep their kids home. I understand that 100%. I've been there. But at the same time, times are different right now. Most of the parents aren't even working right now. Most of the parents are still at home. Now, for those parents who couldn't afford it, couldn't find somebody to watch their kids that day, I get it. I get why you send your kids to school. I talked to another parent. It's funny. I'll tell you guys who the parent is, but I was kind of like, really? You did that? I was denied 2 contract jobs, opportunities to work from home because I'm not vaccinated, right? I mean, this vaccination is kind of crazy. So, I'll tell you guys a story here. You guys know it's okay. I'll give you her address too. You guys go throw eggs at her house now. My sister was with me on Monday. And I said, where are your kids? She's all, I send them to school. I'm like, what? You send your kids to school? She's all, one of them is so far behind school that he should be in school day and night because of the interaction with the internet. The other one needs to go to school because his grades are so good, he needs to keep them up to keep that GPA up. I said, well, you just killed the whole thing of standing up for your freedom and your rights. I said, one day of school wouldn't have made the other one any smarter. And the other one's smart enough that he could afford to miss one day of school. Parents have different reasons why they send their kids to school. I'm not judging anybody on why you send your kids to school. I'm really not. What I'm saying is this. If we want to stand up for our freedoms, there comes a point where we have to draw the line in the sand and say enough is enough. This is my 14th Amendment. I am not vaccinating my kids. And here's what we're going to do about it. But everybody has to come together and do it. You can't have 10% of the people. Because at $200 a kid per day, at 10%, it's a minute loss compared to 50-60% of the kids walking out of class. So I'm not judging every parent for not walking out. What I'm saying is when we make a movement, we have to stand united, we have to stand together, and we have got to make a bigger impact. Otherwise, what happens? People who put these rallies together, people who are advocates, people who are standing up here and fighting, they get beat up too much. They do a rally, 200 people show up. They're not going to do the next one. They're like nobody else cares. That's what's going on. So they're beating us up by ourselves. We're helping the government beat us up by not supporting each other, by not standing with each other, and by not saying enough is enough. So that brings me to our next topic here. October 30th, Ceres, California. There's a rally for every like-minded conservative person, every person who wants to make a difference in California. I urge each and every single one of you guys to show up and bring a friend, and have your friend bring a friend. We need to start standing up. We are here in the Central Valley and we don't do this enough. We need to be strong, and the only way you're strong is united. October 30th, which is next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, but the following Saturday, the day before Halloween, Ceres, California. If you're in the area, come on out. Come meet people. Come talk. Come see like-minded people. Because we need to start uniting. Because if we don't, we won't have a California to fight for. That's October 30th, Ceres, California. Look on all my pages. I'm going to put the flyers back out. I want everybody out there to come and join us. Doesn't matter what walk of life. If your neighbor has a I voted for Biden sign, have them come out too. Have them come out. Why? Because they can see, their eyes are open, just like you and me. A lot of people that voted for Biden don't care for what he's doing, right? I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be saying, let's go Brandon, right? Because we saw what happened in NASCAR. We saw what's going around everywhere. Reach out to your neighbors. Forget about the damn party lines, guys. You guys were neighbors before anybody voted. You guys were neighbors before anybody made a party a division. You guys been neighbors. You guys got to live in the same neighborhood. Go say hello to them. Funny thing is, I've been living in my house 2005, had a neighbor across the street, guy's a nurse. Yesterday was probably the first time I talked to him in 10 years, since he moved in. And I told myself, you know what? I preach it. I tell everybody, go talk to your neighbors, go next door, go say hello to people, and I'm not doing it. I mean, the guy's lived there for about 10 years. I never even knew the guy's name. As a matter of fact, we have a lot in common. His name is Tom. So I realized that what I'm telling people to do, I'm not doing. So the only way that we're going to actually cross these lines is actually going out and actually talking to our neighbors again. Don't worry about them. Go say hello. Go knock on their door. When you see them outside, wave at them. Say, hey, there's a rally Saturday, Ceres, California. Come out, come join. See if this is your kind of people. See if you guys have a lot more in common than what you think. Any of you guys ride motorcycles? It's a common thing. Or if you guys ever drive behind a motorcycle and you see another motorcycle coming, everybody always says hi to each other. It's kind of like if you own a Subaru, everybody with the Subaru has to wave at each other for some reason. or a Corvette is that unity. And none of us know what party the other person votes for. Yeah, we're united by a common ground. Right now, our common ground is the laws of the state of California and a future for the state of California. We're going to talk about that here just a little bit. I want to talk about a couple bills that passed this last week that maybe some of you guys are aware of, maybe some of you guys aren't. I'm going to kind of hold this up a little bit because I actually printed it out on what's going on. If you guys can read that. If you guys been following me on Facebook or Instagram, I actually posted this portion of it. And it says California gas lawn equipment ban hits little guy. And it's true. 2024, the state of California, and this is the bill, so you guys could go look it up. I like to put out the bills so everybody doesn't say that I'm coming up with this or I'm making it up or it's not really what it is. So if you guys are ready, the bill number on this is Assembly Bill 1346, AB 1346. Basically, AB 1346 is saying that if you own a landscaping business in the state of California, by 2024, you have to be on full battery or electric equipment to be able to make your job. So you can't go mow somebody's lawn with a gas lawnmower anymore because they say that is polluting more than a 2000 Toyota Camry. They say that your lawnmower puts out more emissions than a 2000 Corolla Camry. How many of you guys can believe that? So exactly what does that do? Well, it's going to cost landscaping companies thousands of dollars to upgrade all their equipment. Not only their equipment, for one small company to do their job every day, it's going to take in 50 batteries, plus the ones that are on the equipment, so you got to have 50 extra batteries to run your day. Well, it doesn't sound that bad, right? You don't have to go to the gas station. You don't have to spend $5 a gallon for that 3 gallons of gas that it will cost you to work all day. No, they get you better. You get to go home and you get to charge 50 batteries every night so that you can have a job the next day. How many small companies, how many small landscaping companies can actually stay afloat with this? This is the worst part. That bill got passed. We didn't vote on it, but guess what? It's a bill. AB 1346. And I want to thank the assemblyman from San Jose, California, for the idiot that wrote this damn bill. And every other one of our representatives that voted yes on AB 1346. So if you're in the San Jose district, start looking at your assemblyman that wrote this stupid law that now small businesses are going to go out of business. California became an anti-small business state. This is a shame. We need to find out who signed these bills in everybody's district. We need to start calling these people. We need to put a stop to this. We say that a lot. We need to stop this. Okay, let's talk real. How do you stop this? Got to go unite. We got to unite California. Forget about damn parties. I don't give a if your neighbor has I voted for Biden. Kamala Harris is the greatest person on earth. We need to go knock on their door and we need to talk to them as friends. We need to talk to them as neighbors and we need to ask them, do you know what just passed? Can you come October 30th, Ceres, California, unite with people who are fed up with what's going on in the state of California? There's a group out there, it's called Fed Up. If you guys want some of their merchandise, you guys want to start wearing their hats, their t-shirts, their sweatshirts, go online, look for fedup.com. They got great merchandise, but that's the way we all feel. We're all fed up. I was wearing their gear for a long time. When we first started this a year ago, going to rallies, wearing their hats, saying fed up, because I was fed up, and I am fed up with what's going on in the state of California. But I'm more fed up with each one of us that want to stand together, yet we don't. We find an excuse not to show up to rallies. We find an excuse on why we can't get involved. If we don't get involved now, we're not going to have anything to get involved in. Our kids aren't going to have a school to get involved in. Our kids aren't going to have a state to get involved in. So, if you guys are following the news, the annual defense bill came up. Congress signed it. Section 316-113. 316-11-3. Need to look it up. Why am I bringing that up? Because if you're like me and you believe in the Second Amendment, if you won your gun rights, it just got taken away from you. Yes. That brings us to this bill. An annual defense bill directed funding towards the military, but this year's bill also contains gun regulations providence. The 316-1113 vote encompasses a majority of both Republicans and Democrats, and many Americans are wondering why politicians voted for the bill after claiming to be in support of minimal government interaction with our Second Amendment. I'm going to move it up just a little bit so I can read this a little bit to everybody, because I know what it is. I just want everybody to know that I'm actually did my homework on this and what it really is. This is what it is. Okay, the anti-gun amendment bill would allow firearm owners by members of the armed forces to be confiscated without due process. Military court will have the authority to prohibit possessions by either giving you a right or going and just confiscating your guns. So the military now has the right to decide whether you get a gun or not. They have the right to come to your house, confiscate your weapons. Firearm owners and armed forces to be confiscated without due process. Military court would have the authority to prohibit gun possession by either giving the subject an order or an opportunity to hear on the order. By issuing the order ex parte, in other words, seize your firearms now, ask questions later. After receiving a major blowback from supporters for his yes vote, North Carolina representative explained that the act prohibits the military from disarmedly discharging service members who refuse vaccination. I don't care. Apples, oranges, two different things. So let me get this straight. You cannot get fired from your job for refusing a vaccination as long as the government has the right to go to your house and take your guns. What does one thing have to do with another? Yet our congressmen, Republican and Democrat, signed this damn bill. I'm all for our veterans or anybody who has a job, your job not being able to fire you for not having a vaccination. I'm with you. I support you. I stand with you. I do not understand why that has anything to do with our Second Amendment rights. And now that the government, the military, could come to my house, seize all my guns, and then I got to go to court and fight for my rights back. You want to know how they were going to take your Second Amendment rights? There it is. We've been talking about this for a while. This isn't California. This is the United States Congress. That's what's going on behind our backs. These are the people that we voted in office. So look at the annual defense bill, section 316-11-3, which is an amendment to the law. So if the military shows up to your house, they have the right to take your guns away from you. And then you get to go to court and tell them why you're innocent and why you should be able to keep your gun rights. Brandon? probably an understatement of what's going on in our state, in our world, in our country right now. Yes, defense bill signed. 316-11-3. Annual defense bill, anti-gun bill, just gave the armed forces the opportunity to come to your house and take your guns in exchange for their servicemen not being dishonorably discharged because they refused a vaccination. Anybody want to tell me what one or two of the things have to do in common? It's BS, it's our rights, and they just took them away. So if any of you guys think that because you're a Republican, you're better than a Democrat, or if you're a Democrat, you're better than a Republican, wake up. They don't give a rat's behind about any of you or me or anybody else. They only give a damn about what's best for them. What's best for them is for them to disarm us so we cannot stand up and fight for our freedoms. What freedoms? They're getting taken away every day by the people we freely elected into office. Get off your party line, go next door, talk to your neighbor. Get them involved. There's a ton of things I don't understand, but Sunni, whatever, you want to keep coming over here and keep harassing me on Instagram, keep doing it. I don't really give a rat's. Because guess what? You don't understand that our Second Amendment just got taken away and got given to the armed forces to be able to come here and disarm us. Gino, on the other hand, said, bring it on. Gino said, bring it on, right? Gino, I'm with you. Bring it on. What's that going to cause? A civil war in the state of California and all around the United States because we're giving away our freedom. That's what's going on. That is the freedoms that we're giving away right now. We are losing our rights. We're losing our freedoms in the state of California, not only in California, but also here in our country. Let's talk about a little bit about what's going on in California these days. California, we talk about water a lot. We talk about what's going on. We talk about what our differences are and where we're at in the state of California. I don't think any of you guys realize what happened yesterday. If any of you guys follow the news, Channel 5 out of LA actually did the story, covered the story. Hopefully my video is still going over here. Good, we're still going there. Gavin Newsom declared California in a state of emergency for water on all 58 counties. All 58 counties got to be under a state of emergency for water now. So basically what they're saying right now is that they're going to ration your water. You can no longer wash your sidewalks. You can no longer do anything else out here because we have to conserve water. They're saying that we only have enough water for 2 years. Yeah, we have the technology to do desalination. We just don't have the energy because they're shutting down our power plants. So we need to reopen our power plants. We need to really take a better look at nuclear. We need to take a look at biofuel. We need to take a look at how to create more energy in the state of California to be able to do desalination. California is now under a state of emergency. All 58 states, all 58 counties, are now under a state of emergency for water. And it's going to get worse as we go on. They said we only have enough water left in our reservoirs for the next 2 years. So because of that, we cannot keep allowing what's going on. We have to fight for our water rights. I heard somebody yesterday. As a matter of fact, this is kind of funny because all this happened yesterday. Gavin Newsom signs a declaration of state of emergency for water for the state of California, all 58 counties. I had somebody from down south, because everybody knows we're doing a big water rally November 18th. So we contacted a group from down south, and they said, hey, you know what? It sounds really good. It sounds really good, but water doesn't affect us in Southern California. 20 minutes later, I'm watching the news, and Gavin Newsom actually turned around and said, we are in a state of emergency, all 58 counties, even down south. Why? Because if you're getting the water from the Central Valley, which a lot of down south is, guess what? It's no longer there. Luciano, whatever your name is, if you want to come on live, come on live. If not, stay off my feet already. Because nobody cares what you got to say. You want to be anti-something, go be anti-something somewhere else, buddy. Okay? Now, if you want to come on and you actually want to say something, press the request button. I'm more than happy to talk to you. But since you want to be a keyboard warrior, stand up. If not, go do something else. So now we have a state of emergency here in the state of California for water. Conserving water all the way around. Come on live then. Come on live. Here it is, buddy. I'll send you another request. I've been sending you a request for the last hour, but you don't want to come on live. Come on live. You want to talk crap on Instagram? Come on. Yeah, keep declining it. You're a joke. So what we have going on right now is the state of California just went under a state of emergency for water. So yeah, it's everywhere in California now. Everywhere in California right now is everywhere from the state of California now has a state of emergency for water, so now it affects everybody. So November 18th, it's a Thursday. Why are we meeting at the Capitol on a Thursday? Because that's when the people are there. That's when the decision makers are actually there. That's the day before they actually go on break. That is what's going on in the state of California. November 18th, we need everybody. And I'm not talking about 10% of California there. We need 50%, 40%, 30%. We have got to be the majority there, and our voices have to be heard. How are they heard? There's people inside the building. Our legislation will be in session. That's why November 18th is the date. That's why that date is so important. Water affects each and every single one of us. Forget about the damn party lines. Go out, tell people, November 18th, got to show up to the Capitol. We cannot just have 10% like we did for the mandate. We have got to have 50% of California, 40% of California there. We have got to get united right now. Thanks to Boots on the Ground California, who is the host, the co-host, whatever you guys want to call it, Aaron Bates, Boots on the Ground, the Patriots groups. Thank you very much. They got the permits. We're on the west side of the Capitol. We have the whole west side, Basta, down south, a Hispanic group trying to inform Hispanics on California law and what's going on. Like-minded people. They're supporting, they're coming up. Veterans conference, the veterans are getting involved. Anybody has a group that wants to be involved in the water rights and fighting for the water, if you're out there on Facebook, Instagram, or anywhere and you got a water group, get a hold of us, get involved, help us make this the biggest, loudest rally ever where everybody can hear that we want our water rights. Make California great again. They're on board. They're our co-host on this great event. We're getting groups coming from left to right. We're going to keep announcing the groups are standing behind us. But the most people that we want, the biggest group that we want behind us is the California voter. That's the California voters. I didn't say Republican. I didn't say Democrat. I said California voters. Get out. Let our voices be heard. If you're in Mendocino County, they're trucking water in. Take Thursday, November 18th off. Come down to the Capitol. Tell them that you've had enough of trucking your water in. It takes a year. It's going to take us a year to build some dams. It's going to take us a year to get desalination up and running. The year starts now. We have 2 years worth of water. They're saying this winter's going to be a dry winter. If we don't come together and we don't unite, we're not going to have any water. Where are they going to truck the water in from? What state are we going to buy their desalination water? What country is going to start shipping us water from our own ocean into California? Countries are already running on desalination. Santa Barbara, runs on desalination. Desalination can be our solution. We have the pipelines. If we have the pipelines to send water downhill, we can push the water uphill. Yes, it takes nuclear. It takes a lot of energy, but it's humanity. What we're trying to save. Is it worth it? If you're a fisherman, you want to get involved in this because our lakes are going dry, so you won't be able to go fish. If you're a farmer, you're going to want to make this because it's about you. It's about your water rights. It's about growing our crops. It's going to freeze for a second. It'll come right back on. In Southern California, we make up the majority of the population. And down here, they're all so scared of the virus and so brainwashed by the news. It's sad. And it makes it hard to get through to them. When they can't take a shower, I think they're going to get the message. When they can't water their plants, which you already can't water your plant, you're not supposed to go outside and actually water your sidewalks. As a matter of fact, there are counties down that are paying people to remove their lawn and put AstroTurf because we don't have water. We're out of water, guys. 2 years, what they're saying. It's all 58 counties. Right now, it's all 58 counties. And here's the reality is we shouldn't have to conserve water. We have enough water. We got to stop dumping it into the ocean. That's our biggest problem. Our reservoirs were set up for 5 years worth of water. We're down to 2 years because they're draining all our reservoirs, dumping our water into the ocean. That's our biggest problem. We have got to put our voices together. November 18th, state capitol, west side of the capitol. Everybody come out and join us. This affects all of us. Go to my website, go to my Facebook, go to my Instagram, print out the flyer, go to Boots on the Ground Cali, Basta, Make California Great, Veterans Conference. We all have the flyer. Print them out. Go hand them out. We need people to go and hand out the flyers. Print them out, hand them out, get people involved. Get all the communities from down south involved because this affects 100%, 58 counties in the state of California. This is about water. This isn't about Diego Martinez for governor. This isn't about boots on the ground. This isn't about Basta. This isn't about Make California Great or the veterans. This is about the California people and unite the California people for a better future. I don't care what nationality you are. We need your help. You need our help. We need our voices to be heard when it comes to water. Otherwise, we're not going to have water. We talked a little bit about what is going on in California, right? We talked a little bit about small engine gas lawns, AB 1346, how they're banned. So you will no longer be able to use your lawn equipment. You're going to have to upgrade it to a battery or an electric one, which will cause your electric bills to go up. Now, we need to figure out how to get that on a voting docket because that cannot happen. When you look at that is how are you going to charge all this if the state of California is already having rolling blackouts? We talked a little bit about the annual defense bill, anti-gun procession in the bill, which is 316, 11.3 or 113 basically. We talked about what happened at the school mandates and the walkout on Monday, how only 10% of the people actually did that for different reasons. Parents couldn't figure out how to keep their kids home. They didn't have nobody to watch them. I get all that. Your kids are behind in school, and you're taking that opportunity to make sure that they don't get any further behind. I understand all that. We just talked about the water crisis. The state of emergency, Gavin Newsom put us in yesterday. Talking about we only have 2 years left of water in the state of California. 2 years. And that we're looking at a drought for the third year. So if we don't change something now, we're not going to have any of this. We need to share, post, take the flyers, hand them out. If you work, put them in your lunchroom. Nobody needs to know that you put them there. Just put them in your lunchroom. Let people grab them. This is not about party lines. If you're in the Central Valley, around the Central Valley, you want to go to like-minded people, you want to meet more people just like us, October 30th, Series California. Go on my page, take out the flyer. Sam Miller's flyer. Put them out. All patriot groups, all Americans, all Californians, come and unite and figure out how we're going to fight for our state. We need to come together. Again, it's not about 10%. It's not I got something better to do. There is nothing better than our future, and we're losing it every day if we don't stand together and we don't stand united. That's October 30th, Series California. It's going to be at a park, so we got plenty of room for plenty of people. There's going to be some awesome speakers. There's some awesome patriot groups that are coming there. If you guys are fans of them, come on out, come meet people. If anything, come on out to show your support for a better California, for a better future. I'm going to be out there that day. We're probably going to have a booth out there. Hopefully we get to speak for a little bit. This isn't about me running for governor anymore. That's an important case because we're still running. More important is figuring out how to save California. That's why I joined with Boots on the Ground. That's why I joined with BASTA, Make California Great, Veterans Conference, and other groups that are coming on board every day to fight for our water rights. We're at a point, we're at a tipping scale. Well, we need to fight for our rights. We talked about the defense bill, anti-gun. They just took your Second Amendment rights away and gave it to the military to be able to decide whether you have a gun or not. It's not even that. They'll come take your gun, then you have to go to court and you got to fight for your gun rights. That's your Second Amendment that just got trampled in just a different way. The vaccination mandates, your 14th Amendment, that just got trampled. When is all this going to come to an end? When are California people say we've fed up and we've had enough? I like the signs. Let's go, Brandon. But we need more of those. We need the same thing for Gavin Newsom. We need to look at the 2022 election and figure out who's going to be the best person to take that job, and we need to get Gavin out of office. Universal. That's every party. What's going on right now? Why are these bills getting signed? First time in history this happened. A recall didn't work, and it went all the way to the vote. So Gavin Newsom got millions of dollars. I believe the total amount that I heard that he got or was spent on his campaign was $280 million. $280 million is what Gavin Newsom spent to stay in office. $280 million. Tells me I got a lot of fundraising to do. We better hurry up and start working here because that is a huge amount of fundraising that we got to get done to actually be competitive in the governor's race. But $280 million means he has 280 million favors to do, and they're coming. That's where your mandate comes in for your vaccinations. Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, all these people gave Gavin Newsom millions of dollars. Netflix gave them $3 million. Walt Disney gave them $3 million. So if you guys are going to Disneyland, might want to think about it. Probably better off going to Universal Studios. These are the people that gave Gavin Newsom money. So now they're asking him to pay up. If you look at the bills and they don't make sense, follow the money. That's what we always say. A lot of the bills that are passing right now are because Gavin Newsom owes people favors. He owes for the money that he received from them to fight the recall. California, it's time that we unite. That's what this program's called, Waking Up California. I don't care what party line you come in from. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what nationality you're from. This is about awareness and getting people in the state of California involved in what's really going on and letting everybody know exactly the laws that are passing behind our backs that none of us are watching, none of us are reading, none of us are seeing anywhere. Why did the mainstream media not say anything about the defense bill? Because one thing that they get does not make sense with another thing that we all lost. And I'm a veteran supporter. I'm a military supporter. And I don't think anybody should be dishonorably discharged because they do not agree with taking a vaccination. But I don't agree that that should cost the American people their Second Amendment rights. The congressman who tried to justify that, I'd like to ask him, is there nothing else that you could have given up than our Second Amendment? Those are the problems that we're having. That's what California, that's what the United States is coming to. It's a negotiation, and we're not even involved in it. Yet it affects us. It affects each and every single one of us. We just lost our Second Amendment rights to a point. The military has the right to come in and confiscate your rights, your arms. Then a military judge gets to decide whether you get them or not. We'll see how that plays out. We're going to see if it plays out. My body, my choice, what happened to that? Now you have to have a mandate on vaccination. Your kids have to get vaccinated for COVID-19, which they don't even have yet. 99.9% that their immune system can fight it. Yet they have to have a vaccination for it. It was horrible when the soldiers was arrested for participating in his freedom of speech. Exactly. They are scaring people into stupid laws. The state of emergency for water now affects all of us. Start uniting. Start getting together. Start talking to your neighbors. Start going to rallies, because that's the only way that our voices are going to be heard. Not 10%. We need 50%. We need 60%. Because what happened on Monday was honorable. I respect the people who stayed home, who didn't go to school, but 10%, we're the minority still. We need to be the majority. 10% of the kids should have gone to school. 90% of the kids should have been home. That would have affected every school district across California. That would have sent a message. 10% didn't send a message. Just made the teacher's job easier that day. This is what's going on in the state of California. That's what's going on in the United States at this moment. We have a huge border problem. We have to secure our borders. Sex trafficking, drugs. It's not about illegals. We have caravans of illegals trying to come in. The state of California is hosting Afghanistan refugees, which they're paying them $2,000 a month. Your money, my money. Yeah, we don't have enough water to keep California going. We can't run our lawnmowers. Here's a question that each and every single one of you, and maybe some of you guys could put this out there. Why didn't they look at biofuel? Why didn't they look at a different way to clean air? Here's the question. How many states do we have in the United States? Anybody can answer that. We all know it's 50 states, right? Where we have borders per states, is there a wall? Are we in a bubble? I'm asking you, are we in a bubble? The answer is no, we're not in a bubble. So, our neighboring states, say Nevada, Arizona, they're running their gas lawn equipment. They're running their lawnmowers. They're running their weed eaters. Is that pollution not going to come to the state of California? Or is the pollution going to say, hey, that's a clean state, move over? So why regulate California so hard? Because guess what? Regulating and taking away our small engines isn't going to save the planet. Unless it's a worldwide. China pollutes more than anybody in the world. Yeah, why is it the United States is so regulated on pollution? So we're allowing other countries to do what we can't do. Now, we're allowing California to take our small engines away from our weed eaters, our lawnmowers, but Nevada, Arizona, and all the other states can, because we're going to stop pollution. Let's get real. We're not in a bubble. The pollution will come from other states. The pollution will still be there. This is not a solution for a problem. This is government overreach and government control of your freedom and your rights. That's all that's going on. My name is Diego Martinez. I am a candidate for governor in 2022. But right now, I'm a fed up Californian who's had enough. Who's had enough of the government overreach, who has had enough of our rights being trampled and taken away. I'm urging each and every single one of you to go talk to your neighbors and get involved in the fight for a better California future. Otherwise, we won't have one. If you run a generator at your house right now, when the power goes out, they want to take that away from you in 2024. You will no longer be able to have that source of energy. Yet, we are here. We are here trying to figure out how to fight for our state. Do you suggest to move out of California? Newsom is taking everything from us. No, I don't suggest that we move out of California. I suggest that we unite California. Not 10%, not 20%, 50, 60% of Californians. I suggest that we all unite, find our neighbors, get out there and let our neighbors know that their water rights are being trampled on. Their freedom rights are being trampled on. Enough is enough. I'd almost tell you, stop saying that you're a Republican. Stop saying you're a Democrat. Stop saying you're a liberal. Start saying that you're a Californian and you're worried about California. Because that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the California Republican Party. I'm not worried about the Republicans in office. I think they all need to be dismissed. I think we just need to clean California up. And we need to start with forgetting about the damn party lines and actually getting the right people in office. There's some good Democrats out there. There's some good Republicans out there. But why don't we all unite as Californians for a better California? I'm not suggesting that we put our heads between our tails and go. No, I'm suggesting that we stay. We unite. We talk to our neighbors. We remember what our freedoms, what the United States stands for. And we fight for our freedoms here in California because it's time. Forget about the damn party lines. Talk to your neighbors. They do get it. They will get it when you tell them you can no longer water your grass today. They will get it when you tell them you can no longer take a shower. How do we beat a governor who has the majority base? Simple. We go get us a base. We go talk to people. We go educate people. We get people to come to the rallies. We get people to get involved. Believe this or not, I noticed something during the recall. People don't do their homework on candidates. People don't. They don't. They'll look and they'll open up their voter's guide. Oh, this person's a teacher. I'm a teacher. I'll vote for them. And they don't even know who that person is. We get our communities involved. You want to stop the majority? We become the majority. We start speaking up. We start putting ourselves out there. We start inviting people to rallies. We start inviting them. Who cares? They're liberals. Have them come. I love to hear their opinions. Because we're not that far off when it comes to education. We're not that far off when it comes to our freedoms. I would love to be a speaker at churches. I would love to be a speaker anywhere. I will put myself out there because I believe in a greater California. I believe in our water rights. That's why I'm standing with Boots on the Ground Cali, BASTA, Make California Great, Veterans Conservatives, and every other group that's backing this movement for water. I stand with our farmers. I stand with our fishermen. I stand with the labor that works at these farm agencies that want more money. I stand with California people that want a better future. But I need them to help us stand together for a better future. I need the Sikh community from Houston. I need the Hispanic community from the peninsulas. I need the white farmers. I need the African American people who want water. I need our truckers to stand with us. Because water affects all of us. Every nation. Every one of the 58 counties in California is now affected by water. Forget about your party lines, folks. This is about a better future. This is about a better California. This is about our rights and our freedoms getting trampled every day by elected officials who owe somebody a favor. And they don't care about your freedoms. They don't care about your rights. SB 339, charging you per mile that you drive. They're restricting our travel. People aren't going to be able to afford $3,000 a year to register their car. Affordable housing. What happened to that program? We can spend $12 billion on the homeless, but we can't spend half of that on affordable housing. We can't spend that money to help people that really need the help. We can't put a real program in place, a real solution for the homeless problem that will not cost us $4 billion. It's all political. And it's time that we stop it. Final thought. How can you maintain your forest when there's no electricity out there? How many batteries is your chainsaw going to take? We need our atmosphere cleaned. We need our forest cleaned up. We need California back. The only way we're going to get it is reaching through party lines, forgetting about your damn party, start working together with everybody who this affects. And guess what? SB 339 affects everybody who owns a car, who drives, anybody who works that doesn't work from home. It's going to affect you. Whether you drive an electric car, whether you drive a gas car. Our gas prices are through the roof. I posted the other day, $137 to fill my truck to go to work. $137. What is going on, California? And we're allowing it. You want to charge me $137 to fill up my truck and then $3,000 a year to keep it on the road? I'm not going to be able to drive it. You're going to make me go to an electric car. I won't be able to afford PG&E. I want you guys to look at your PG&E bill from now on. Flip it over. We'll have a destination charge. I just looked at mine. This is why solar actually makes sense. So my bill, I'll share this with you guys because I don't care, was $280, PG&E bill. Out of the $280, $128 was a destination charge. From across the street to my house, they charged me $128. Each and every single one of you are getting charged a destination fee. We just don't see it. So where am I going? Yeah, I'm definitely going to solar. Because I'm not going to pay $128 from across the street of my house, calling it a destination charge. We're getting gouged to death in the state of California. We just don't see it. SB 339, charging you per mile, doesn't matter. It's going to kill you. Because if you drive like I do, I already got 22,000 miles on a truck from 2 months ago. 3 months ago, maybe 4. So if in 4 months I put 22,000 miles, what's it going to look like in... So we just go 3 times that. It's very simple, right? I'm going to have 66,000 miles on my truck at the end of the year at 8 cents a mile. It's going to cost me almost $5,000 to put that truck back on the road next year. It's not going to happen. So either I stop traveling or I get a pedal bike and figure out how to do it. That is what's going on in the state of California. That's where we're headed. AB 1346, small engines. It's a way of controlling, and we're losing our rights. You want to take over the California party? You want to make a difference? Get involved. Get your friends involved. Start coming out to rallies. October 30th. Come out to series. Come stand next to common alike people. Meet people. Even if you're not common and alike, come over there and talk. We might have some kind of common ground that we can all fight for the same freedom. Not everybody like Gavin Newsom. The Republican Party made a mistake when they made Larry Elder versus Gavin Newsom. The California people made a mistake when they made it between Larry Elder and Gavin Newsom. Larry Elder killed the recall, plain and simple, because they made it about one guy over another. They made it a Republican over a Democrat. They didn't make the recall about what it was, getting rid of a bad governor who killed California. The election was never about Gavin Newsom versus Larry Elder. It was about Gavin Newsom versus the state of California. Larry Elder should have had to compete. Who made Larry Elder the front runner? He didn't debate anybody. He didn't get voted to be the front runner. He had the most money and the most name recognition, so everybody said that guy could win. The guy didn't win. None of us won. As a matter of fact, the California people lost. We would have won with anybody else in office but Gavin Newsom, but we didn't. So who's paying now? We, the California people, with stupid laws like AB 1346, SB 339, 1135, 1154. Where your child, 11 years old, I mean, that bill, I got to strangle somebody. Your 11-year-old can go have an abortion. Nobody knows. 1356, your 11-year-old can go have a sex change. Parents don't need to know. We can go on all day, but we don't need to. We need to unite. We need to go out. We need to print out the flyers. We need to start giving the flyers about water to everybody. We need to show up October 30th in series and come together and come with a game plan on how we're going to take our state back. Go on my page, print out the flyer, go hand it out to people. Go put it in your break room at work. Just drop it off. Nobody needs to know you did it. Just take a stack of papers and drop it on the table. People will pick it up and read it. It might interest them. It might not. But at least you did your part to get people out to the Capitol November 18th so our voices can be heard for our freedom, for our rights, for our water. We have a lot of people getting behind this. We want more. We want 50% of California to actually have their voices heard, and that's what we're doing it on a Thursday, right before legislation goes on session and on their break. That's November 18th, State Capitol, 10 a.m. to 2. Take the day off work. It's worth it. Take the day off work. We have been off work for over a year anyways. What's one day? It's not going to hurt us that bad to actually show up and go fight for our freedom. If you work for an employer, let your employer know, hey, they're having this rally. It's really important that we go. If you work at a farm, if you work at a dairy farm, if you work at a poultry, if you're a fisherman, if you work at Bass Pros, anything that has to do with water, this is for us. If we don't fix this, all those jobs will be gone. It's bad enough that they're trying to take our cars away in 2035 where it's all going to be electric. The good old days are gone. The good old muscle cars, the good old hot rods, smelling of that ether, of that octane when it was burning, when you had the car in idle. Our kids will never be able to experience all that if we don't hurry up and fight. When is the time? The time is now. My name is Diego Martinez. I am a candidate for governor of California. If you like my shows, please like and share them. If you like my message, please take the flyers and pass them out. October 30th, I'll see you guys in Ceres, California. United Patriots, and we're all coming together for a better future. Bring your friends. And if you bring a friend, have your friend bring a friend. Everybody, bring at least 5 people with you. Figure out 5 friends that you can take with you. We all have them. Come and ask any questions. Please do tell all your friends, tell all your neighbors, tell everybody who has anything to do with water about November 18th. Anybody who's in the Central Valley, come on out, October 30th. Sam Miller and his group, they're putting it on. They're inviting everybody. This is an open house for everybody to get to know everybody and stand together. Our rights are being trampled on. We here in California are losing our freedoms every day. Diego Martinez for governor, 2022. If you like my message, please help and donate to my campaign, DiegoMartinezForGovernor.com. Hit the donate button. We can use all the help we can get so we can stay afloat and keep fighting for our freedom and our rights as Californians. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next week.